Good morning, everyone. My name is Allison Gernant, and I'm here today with Alana Warren. It's a beautiful March day, 2025, and I'm very happy to talk with Alana about her experiences during our Costa Rica first year experience study abroad trip, and it was sponsored through the Learn program. So, a little bit about myself. I'm an associate lecturer in the Learn program and in the English department, and I've taught at University of Wyoming for about 10 years. So my colleague, Catherine Johnson, and I created a one-credit study abroad class because both of us had studied abroad in our undergraduate experience, and we've really realized how impactful it was to our undergraduate degrees. So we created a course, and we wanted to make sure that students who were not always able to study abroad were able to come to Costa Rica and be in our class. So we've run our class twice. My colleague Shelby Hudson and I first took a group of 10 students, all UW students, to Costa Rica. And then the next time, Catherine Johnson and I went down to Costa Rica again with another group of 10 students. So I'm here today with Alana Warren, and she and I got to travel both those times together to Costa Rica. And we just have a few questions to ask you about your experiences in Costa Rica, and I want to thank you for being here today as well. I know it's really busy, the end of March, right? End of March is busy in university life. So Alana, would you mind introducing yourself?
Of course. My name is Alana Warren. I'm currently a junior here at the university. I'm studying sociology with a minor in criminal justice. I grew up in Cheyenne. I am a first-generation student, and I truly do think that studying abroad has been the most impactful thing to my education during my first 3 years here at this university.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Well, I had a couple questions for you. So what would you think about specific ways that your experiences in the Learn first year experience Costa Rica class called the Geography of Bliss enriched your experience at UW or changed your experiences once you were back on campus?
Well, I went on this trip twice, first as a student and then I went as a peer mentor. I think my biggest takeaway is that without knowing what being uncomfortable is, you can't be comfortable. Like the exposure to a new country with different norms and different values is the only way, I would argue, to get that exposure. And I feel like this matters because my perspectives while in country are so different than what I'm used to from growing up. You know, we stayed with local Costa Rican families, and I think that exposure in and of itself was incredible. It takes a lot to take a step back and realize what you grew up with and how that compares to different parts of our world.
Yeah. Excellent. Thanks, Alana. I have some more questions for you. This is so interesting to hear from you. So as you know, in our first year experience program, we've had generous support from UW Study Abroad or UW Education Abroad and scholarships and the Learn program. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about any kind of obstacles you may have faced before you went to Costa Rica and before you were a part of our class twice. Yeah, what kind of obstacles may have you faced?
I think first, being first generation, I knew nothing about how to even study abroad. I knew nothing about how to be a college student. I don't want to say that there's like no support from your family being first gen, but there's a lack of almost awareness of like how incredible it actually is to take that leap. And I think that by being a first generation student, you're already facing enough challenges. Like you don't need more challenges on top of coming to college, like funding, like application processes, looking for scholarships. I do think that funding is essential in study abroad programs. I want to normalize that there's a lot of us, myself included, who don't come from money. You know, you don't have all the financial support in the world from your family or even from the university. So I think it's important that the Learn program funding was able to take the financial stress off my shoulders. My application process was super easy. I was, basically on this trip for free with the funding from this program.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And just one last question I have for you. If you were to think about any future students who would want to take this class and come with us on a study abroad class, what would you want to tell them about? What would you want them to think about or to plan for or to anticipate?
I think my biggest thing is leave everything that you think you know behind. There is so much to learn, there's so much to experience, there's so much exposure to new customs, new norms, new ways of living. So I think you can't come into studying abroad thinking you know more than you're willing to learn, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Of
And
course.
have a great rest of your